Welcome to this second day of the FTTH Conference here at Stockholmsmässan in Stockholm. With me I have Gwen, the wife to the man we're all here because of. Her husband, Charles K. Cow, was the inventor of the fiber optics. As you can see behind us, people are rolling in here at the exhibition floor. Lots of seminars are going on and has been going on during the morning and even during the evening yesterday. So it has been fantastic days here. But this morning was maybe one of the most fantastic days for you, Gwen.
Well, I was here representing or being my husband because he can't come here.
He couldn't come here.
No, unfortunately, sadly, he has Alzheimer's and cannot travel now.
Okay.
I wish you would come.
You were here for one purpose. What purpose was that?
To receive this award for the person who has helped the Fibre to the Home project. Actually, without optical fibers, we would not even been talking about fiber to the home.
No, we would probably not have been here. I mean, nobody would have been here talking about fiber to the home.
Right, without the fiber.
Unless the fiber, yeah. You said your husband has Alzheimer.
Right. He was diagnosed in 2002. And unfortunately, it comes with longevity. 1 in 3, when you're over 80, will have signs of some stage of Alzheimer's. So we all have to watch out for that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you also started a fund to...
Yes, we started a fund 3 years ago. That was when he got his Nobel Prize. So he was a famous guy in Hong Kong. And the fact that he has Alzheimer's made everyone sit up and said, gee, is it because he uses his brain too much? But actually, it's a sign of deterioration of the brain, which is not caused by overuse. You need to use your brain to prevent it, actually.
Okay. But he got the Nobel Prize 2009. That's 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And...
this was for work done in 1966, a long time ago.
It's a very long time.
But you know, have you noticed all Nobel Prize winners are very, very old, 80s and 90s. Have you not noticed? And I did ask them, why do you wait for people to be so old? And they said they had to be sure that whatever they did had an effect and is solid.
Oh, yeah? But he found out about the fiber optics in 1966. When did he start to research about this? I mean, this is...
1966 was when the paper was published about the results that he found about how we could use, or what we had to do to make sure that the glass was pure enough for it to have a low enough dB loss and all this technical stuff. He did a lot of that sort of research before he wrote the paper in 1966. And that's when people read the paper and said, oh, wow, there's something in this.
He must have been very far ahead of everyone else in the world by that time.
At that time, yes. No one else was working on it. And he felt it was his duty to go around to all the various labs around the world to convince them to do research on it, because one man cannot change a telephone industry. It has to be a global effect, and so we have to get the whole world interested. And he was very diligent in going to labs in Germany, in France, in Japan, in the States. We were working in UK at the time, so he spent a lot of time traveling in those early years to get everyone on the bandwagon.
Did he have that vision already then, that this would be...
Yes, he said this is going to shatter the world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and we all laughed at him.
You did? Even you?
Yes. I mean, how can you believe someone, that is playing at this work is so much fun, and then he tells you it's going to shatter the world? You say, oh, yeah.
So what is his reactions nowadays when it actually happened?
Well, it doesn't happen overnight. It took 20 years from 1966 for the systems to be developed into a working telephone system, for the copper wire cables to be replaced with the optical fibers, and that takes a while to lay them under the sea from long distance. And it's not until all those are laid completely that you can start having switching over. It took 20 years.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, sort of 20 years, he sort of left the industry, kind of, because he'd been in it for 30 years.
Yeah.
and it sort of kind of crept up and happened.
But he's enjoying to see that the world has changed so much because of
Oh yes,
what he did.
Yes, he was. That was before he got Alzheimer's. He knew what was happening, and he was very excited about it all.
The fiber optics and the telecom industry has really changed the world, not only for good. Nowadays, people are looking into their screens, they're chatting with each other.
It's changed the world in more than one way. All the big companies that used to be doing telephone equipment, a lot of them has disappeared, been taken over, gone bankrupt. In fact, the company he worked for 30 years has disappeared completely. I think Alcatel bought up part of it.
Yeah.
And then Nortel bought up another part, and then Nortel went into bankruptcy. And now we have all these little new companies which are very creative and innovative. It's built a whole brand new industries that employs armies of people, provided them with an employment. It's changed the economies of everything.
Yeah, and even, I mean, it really changed the behavior of people and how people are talking to each other. And
no, they're not talking to each other. Haven't you seen these young kids with the phone? They're sitting next to each other. They don't talk. They're all sort of texting.
Yeah. Is that good
funny.
or is it bad?
I don't know. It means personal relationships are not the same anymore for the young kids.
No. Have this Nobel Prize changed your life in any way?
Not really. We are really quite old. I mean, he's 80 last year. And in 2009, the effects of Alzheimer's was already making itself felt. So he's not really enjoyed the fruits of having the Nobel Prize as much as he would have done if he'd been healthy.
No.
But someone said we are doing good for the world in another way. We're raising awareness of Alzheimer's.
Yeah. So have you been around at the event looking at something?
Yes, I've gone around and looked. I noticed that there's no one from Hong Kong here. But Hong Kong is 99% fiber to the building. We're a vertical city. We have land limitations, so everything's gone up to 80 stories. And as they build these new buildings, they just automatically put in that, so the cost is lower for us.
So what is your impression of the event, unless that there's no one else than you from Hong Kong?
Well, I noticed, I did note that there's a couple of people showing from Chinese companies, China. I think there's one from the big one, Huawei from Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
So I noticed they're here.
Yeah, and you've been to any seminars?
Yes, I've been. I listened to all the ones on Thursday. They were very stimulating and interesting. And one thing that made me, that I noticed was what the keynote speaker saying, no, not the keynote speaker, one of the other speakers, saying the present is already the future. We're just living life very, very fast now.
Yeah. Gwen, thank you very much for coming to our studio.
Thank you. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and we're here at the floor of the FTTH conference. And if you want to enjoy the whole conference on your computer or on your phone, you can do it by logging in to fttHconference.eu. And now, with me, I have Espen Sjager, or how do you pronounce your...
Sjager.
Sjager.
Yes.
From Norway.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and you won a prize.
I did?
Yeah. Can you tell me more about the prize?
I will. I'm a fan of following pages, relevant pages on Facebook. And so I found FTTH Council's webpage, Facebook page, I Want Fibre. And I liked that from the autumn last year. And then they announced this competition from the 4th of November. And at first, I didn't bother much about it because I was busy.
What competition was it?
It was they wanted us to post a picture or a video showing either how bored you are when you are waiting for a slow internet connection, or what possibilities fiber gives you. And so a video of 1 minute or just a picture.
Okay.
And so I registered that, but I thought, okay, I have work, I have small kids, I don't have time for that, and I probably won't win anyways, because these competitions have a lot of
Nobody ever wins anything.
No, that's the thought. But then, as time went by, I saw that there weren't very many participants in this competition at the beginning, at least. So I started to think that maybe I could do something to participate here, and I started to come up with this idea that me and my brother could play guitar via telecommunication.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting at home, and he's sitting playing with me on my 55-inch HD screen.
Do you have a band together or something?
No, we just practice together.
Okay.
Just play random songs, and it's just for fun.
Just for fun and to be close to your brother.
Yes. But the fact is, though, he lives 30 minutes drive away from me. So this was mostly to showcase the
Yeah, but 30
possibilities.
minutes can be a long time when you have kids and have a job.
It can. That's for sure. So we did it. People started liking the video. We got quite a good response. And I started to eye a hope that maybe I could win this. And I did.
And you did.
Yes. So
now you're famous.
famous. There weren't very many others than my friends who saw the video.
Okay.
Because I rallied them on to go into the video and like it.
Ah, yeah.
So yeah.
But you can watch it on the FTTH
You can.
Council Europe's homepage or the I Want Fibre homepage.
You can. So so we played yesterday, and we alternated the text, so the lyrics. So it was about fiber.
Oh yeah.
So here today, all our troubles seem so far away, because with fiber optics here to stay, we can sing and we can play. That's what we sang. So it was all a bit cheesy, but but it won me a PlayStation 4, so I'm happy.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you could have sung that song. What does the fiber say?
What does the fiber say? Yes.
Yeah, the most famous Norwegian song nowadays on YouTube is "What Does the Fox Say?"
Ah, yes, that's true. But people are tired of that, so
yeah.
I wouldn't do that anyway.
But you're working in the fiber industry as well.
I am. And that's why when I won this competition, I was maybe a bit afraid that they would take the prize away from me because I would be disqualified because I work in the fiber industry. But I'm not a technical person. I work as a communications advisor for Lyse in Stavanger in Norway. And Lyse owns Altibox, which is a large fiber provider in Norway.
Oh, okay. How large?
We have 330,000 customers now.
On fiber? That's
on fiber.
Impressive.
Yes. So we have 70% of all fiber connections in Norway are ours. So.
And I guess you're still growing.
And we're growing very rapidly. So.
In what areas are you growing mostly?
You're thinking geographical?
Yeah, no, cities, rural.
Well, the thing is with Lyse is that we were first in Norway with the fiber, so we got to pick the cherry, the ripe cherries. Low-hanging fruits, and so all the big cities and the good areas are taken now, primarily by us. So now it's more the rural areas where you see people digging the trenches themselves to get fiber out of them.
I was afraid that you would say the rotten fruit was left.
No, it's not the rotten fruit, but it's the higher hanging fruits. Then it's more difficult to get to them now.
Is there a demand for fiber in Norway?
Absolutely. The thing is, we have a large customer base, and we see that most of them are neutral when it comes to talking about fiber, because they get used to fiber and they forget about it. You know, it's working and it's there, and they don't think about it in their everyday, and they don't talk about it to their peers. No. Because customers are our most important ambassadors. They have to tell their neighbor that fiber is the only way. And then there is a small group that does that, the positive group, and then there's the negative group that says, you know, there's no need for fiber. I can send my emails and do what I want, check my online bank with ADSL or whatever they have. Yeah. So we try to raise awareness now that people talk about fiber, and it is the future.
So that's the main challenge for you, to reach out with the word.
Yes, it's just it's like with electricity. We are an electricity company as well, and people take electricity for granted now. They switch on the light and they expect the light to come on when they switch on the the light. And it's the same with fiber. When you start your computer, you expect the YouTube video to stream immediately with no hiccups.
Yeah.
And fiber is very stable, so you rarely get hiccups as well. So people don't think about it. It flows out of their conscience in a way.
So what's the future for Lyse and Altibox?
Well, let me just start by saying the start for it, how we started with it.
Yeah.
In the 1980s, we built fiber in our electricity system so that we had better connection with, to have better control over our electricity system.
All right.
And then in 2000, 2001, some bright minds started thinking, how could we provide this to private customers? And a small company of 3 people was established in 2001.
Okay.
And the goal then was to have 28,000 customers by 2017. And now we have 330,000 in the whole of Norway and Denmark as well.
That was a really long perspective for being, that we're talking about the dot-com era back then.
But that was the thing, that people didn't believe in fiber back then. They didn't see what was the need for such high capacity. We didn't need it, they thought back then. But then there were these few people that believed in it in Lyse, and they started building it. And
Has the development been linear? So it's been like a...
Yeah, more or less.
More or less?
More or less, yes, it has.
You haven't had this hockey stick yet?
No, and it has been dependent also, because we have this partnership. Altibox is a partnership of 40 different partners, utility companies, electricity companies throughout Norway and Denmark that offer Altibox products on their own fiber networks.
Oh, yeah.
So Lyse is not the infrastructure owner throughout Norway. Lyse is just one of 40 partners.
Yeah.
So and that model works very well.
Okay.
Because the success factor is that you have to have good customer control systems. You have to be able to tackle large customer numbers.
Yeah.
You have to be good at digging, and you have to be good at developing good applications and services. And so power utility companies handle the 2 first ones. They're good at digging, and they have large number of customers already.
Yeah.
And then we developed Altibox as the company to develop services. So it has worked very well that way.
Okay. So when coming to Sweden and to Stockholmsmässan and the FTTH conference, what are your perspective on what you see here?
For me, I work as a communications advisor, so I don't have much technical insight into what the small fiber threads do and things like that. So it's interesting to just look at trends, I think. And also, when you work in one country, in one market, it's easy to get narrow-minded and just look at that market. Coming here, it's interesting to raise your vision and raise your head and look at Norway in a more international perspective and see what other countries are doing and compare it. So
where do you rank Norway compared to the international markets?
I haven't done any personal ranking, but I see the Norway is number 4 when you see the banners hanging out in the hallway. So that's good.
But you're thinking you're a bit ahead of the typical European market country?
I think we've come a long way, a very long way in Norway. But there's a long way to go as well, I think. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say, because I speak for Altibox and Lyse, and we have very good progress. Other providers are also now waking up and starting to go from copper technology to fiber. Yeah. And that will help, because we cannot build fiber in Norway by ourselves. We have to have other providers as well helping us.
But you went into Denmark. Are you looking to go into other countries as well?
Not with fiber at this moment. We have started also developing smart house technology, and we have different countries, European countries, looking at us, wanting to test our systems there. So perhaps that will be even bigger than our fiber business case.
What kind of services are you looking at with this business?
We now have to roll out automatic meters, automatic power meters.
Oh, yeah.
And in the same rollout, we also install a small computer in every house in our region, 150,000 homes. And that small computer can communicate with sensors in the house, with ovens and lighting and everything you can think of that runs on electricity.
Okay.
And we connect it through the cloud, and you can control everything on your iPad or your phone. And it's a small, very powerful computer that you install in your fuse box. And this could be also installed in other parts of the country or in other countries as well. So that's very exciting.
And this service is already launched, or is it on the table?
It's launched in our area. So people have started buying, it's called Smartly in Norway. So people have started buying it in our area, and we're looking at expanding into other areas in Norway.
Oh yeah? And what is the uptake? Are people, do they like it? Are they using it?
We haven't put full pressure on the marketing yet, because there are new switches, new screens coming soon, which will make it look a lot better. The first launch was quite dull switches and normal switches, but we have very exciting and good-looking products coming now towards the summer, and so we'll put more pressure on it then. But we launched it just before Christmas, and we have about closer to 1,000 customers about now. But we'll see that this will explode most probably.
Oh yeah. Espen, when you've been around looking at the floor, have you been to any specific seminar you would recommend the people to watch in afterhand on the web?
No, just generally, I think that they've been good. I haven't been listening too much to the, let me say, the technic-specific seminars, but the more broad seminars, the more the people that look on this industry from a higher perspective, those have been very interesting, I think. So I think Karen Ahl is a good speaker. It's very inspiring to listen to her, I think. So let me give credit to FTTH Council by pulling out her as the favorite presentation.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's it for this webcast on the floor of the FTTH conference. And we'll be back next time at 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for viewing this.